Hey guys, this is God of Politics. I'm going to go to a brand new video, but before we get started with this video, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also follow me on Twitter and join the Discord. Those are both linked down in the description. But in today's video, I'm going to be doing episode 4 of my Redistricting Predictions series. And in today's episode, I'm going to be doing the state of New Mexico. Now, in the first one, I did Alabama. Second one, I did Tennessee. Third one, I did Kentucky. And all three of those states are controlled by Republicans. But in this episode, I'm going to be doing a state that's controlled by the Democrats, where Democrats might actually have an opportunity to pick up a seat in redistricting, where there's not actually too many opportunities for that, but this is one of them. Now, these are the current districts in New Mexico. You've got 3 districts in total, with 2 Democratic districts and 1 Republican district. This Republican district is actually a district that flipped in 2018 to the Democrats, but then flipped back in 2020 to the Republicans. This is a district that Donald Trump won in 2016 by 10.2 percentage points, and this is a district that in 2020, if we can look at this, it's a district that Trump won by 12 percentage points, so it actually trended red in 2020. You can maybe attribute that to the oil industry in this area. Biden's comments that he made about that maybe hurt him in some of these counties, which did end up shifting to the right in the southern New Mexico area, especially in the southeastern portion. Maybe some of the heavy Latino areas as well did trend towards the Republicans. But overall, New Mexico's 2nd District, quite a solidly Republican area. But Democrats do have the opportunity to try and gerrymander it to make it so that there's 3 Democratic districts. And there's been a lot of talk about how they're going to do this. People are saying they're going to split up Albuquerque 3 different times. People are saying they're going to produce 3 safe Democratic districts. I actually have a different view of what they're actually going to do, and I'll kind of show how that actually is going to play out. And so I think what I'm going to start with is the 3rd district, and I think that I'm just going to start by showing what I think they're going to do. So I think they're going to take some of these southern counties of the state, which are pretty Republican, and then combine it with some of these heavy Latino counties in the north that are pretty solidly Democratic. And then I think they'll also take the Santa Fe area, which is where the incumbent Teresa Legar Fernandez is from. So they'll put those counties into the district. They'll also put this county into the district over here. And this is where it gets interesting. So right now, the overall makeup of the district using the President 2016 numbers is D plus 6.7 percentage points. But they're probably going to end up splitting the Albuquerque area, at least the county. They'll end up splitting up. The city lines are a little bit different. But I do think that they will split up the county and put part of the 3rd district into this county to try and make it a bluer district. So there's a number of different ways that they can do this, but there are rules that they have to follow, and that is what they're going to end up having to do. So, it'll take these eastern portions of the county here, which are generally more Republican, not safe Republican, but they're more Republican. And so we'll put all of these into the districts. And what it can't do, one of the rules that I'm talking about, it can't really take these heavy Latino areas in because it can't split up Latino communities. But it can take a lot of these whiter precincts, which are still quite blue because they're in the immediate Albuquerque area. So we can put these into the district here. And you can see that the district is approaching D plus 10 at this point, which is what we want to see because we want this district from the New Mexico Democrats' perspective to be as safe as possible. And so you can continue to put a lot of these precincts in the district, and you can see it's just gone over D plus 10. It's changed color here, and that's because it's taking some of these precincts over here. Now, to make it a little bit more compact, I think it will take some of these precincts along here, and you can see it's D plus 10 or about now. And maybe it takes some more Republican precincts in this area further out from Albuquerque. Maybe it takes some of these precincts over here. But overall, we want it to be a safe district that isn't really going to flip in a blue wave. You're in a D plus 10 district, in theory, could do that, but it's not likely. And so this should be safe enough for her to win, especially since she's an incumbent. And so if we put all these precincts in the district, we can probably add a couple of these heavy blue precincts as well. So it's about basically exactly D plus 10 at this point. We still need 40,000 people, though, in the district. So I think that we're going to have a lot of these precincts going. We can make it a little bit more compact here. I think that's something that they will at least try to work for if they can. And to people saying that there's a commission that's going to avoid things like this, yes, there's a commission, but the legislature can just ignore the commission, and Democrats have a pretty solid majority in the New Mexico legislature, so it's not going to be a problem for them to do a map like this. Maybe in court it'll get struck down, but I'll show at the end why I don't think that's going to happen. And so we only need about 10,000 more people now, so we can just add a couple more of these precincts over here. We need about 2,000 more people. This should be able to do it if we add these 2 precincts plus maybe one more. So there we go. That's probably what this district is going to look like. It is D plus 10.9 percentage points, ranges all the way from southeastern New Mexico to northeastern New Mexico to the immediate Albuquerque area, and that's probably what the 3rd district is going to look like. Now I think what I'm going to do next is the 2nd district, and it's obviously going to take a lot of these southern New Mexico areas, which are quite Republican, and this district overall is going to be it's blue already, and that's because there's not that many safe Republican counties down here, and some of them are taken up by this new 3rd district. And so I do think that it will take these counties up top over here, which will make it more blue. Of course, we do have this Republican county up here, probably the biggest Republican county in the state, if I would have to guess. I'm not exactly sure about that, but I do believe that it is the biggest Republican county in the state. And so I do think that it's probably going to take these areas, and then it's probably going to take a couple more precincts from this county. And one reason why I don't think that this map may get struck down is because it can be seen as keeping the native areas together. And that is because you can see there's a lot of native areas over here in the northwestern part of the state that they are all keeping in this one district over here, except for these couple precincts over here and these couple precincts over here. But overall, the Native American areas are being kept pretty much in the same district, which they can use as an argument as to why the map shouldn't be struck down. And overall, it's not that uncompact, I guess is the right word. Maybe it's not, but it's not too bad of a map visually. And that's part of the reason why I don't think they're just going to strike it down on spot. And the New Mexico Supreme Court is Democratic, and they have to have a law to strike it down over. They can't just strike down a map because they don't like it. You have the Florida Supreme Court, for example, quite a partisan Supreme Court. Even if there is reason to strike down a map because of a gerrymander, they probably won't end up doing it. And that's, another thing that you have to note. So I'm just making sure that we have all these precincts in the district. It still needs about 6,000 more people. We actually will end up being able to put most of these native areas in the district. As you can see here, these native areas are in the district. Maybe they'll put these precincts in the district, but they'll probably just end up putting them in the first. But overall, we can have these precincts go in over here. She only needs a couple more. I'll actually add these 2 precincts and then probably take away these 2 precincts. Actually, those are native precincts, so I'll probably instead have it so that these 2 precincts get taken away. So that should be good. And so that's the 2nd district here. It is D plus 3 percentage points using the 2016 president numbers. And of course, we only have 1 district left, so we just got to fill that in as part of the 1st district. So it's going to take that Republican county to the south, the rest of it's going to take the rest of Bernalillo County, and then that is going to be it. So we can see over here that we have 3 districts here. One of them, using 2016 numbers, is D plus 20.2. The second is the D plus 3, and then the third is D plus 10 or 10.9 percentage points. And so this is a more likely map I see than just drawing like 2 D plus 10 districts, because this pretty effectively draws out Yvette Harrell from her district, and it's not too egregious of a gerrymander. I mean, it splits up the Albuquerque area, but not 3 different times. It also keeps the Hispanic areas together generally. You can see based on this, sure, it puts this county into the 2nd district, and it puts this county into the 1st district. But overall, the Latino areas of Albuquerque are not split up in any way, shape, or form. In actually, this is probably encouraged, having the white precincts go into a lot of these whiter areas and having the more Latino precincts become a Latino-heavy district, which this district is just plurality Hispanic, the second district, which is a good thing as well as the first district, which is almost majority Hispanic, which I think may actually be a problem, but it shouldn't be too hard to make it a majority Hispanic. Actually, so right now it's not even a majority Hispanic district, so that's not going to be a problem. The third district is plurality Hispanic, and in the current map that I've just made, it is majority white. So you may have to actually shift a couple of these precincts around. Maybe instead of having the third be majority white, majority minority should be okay. So maybe if you have it take a couple of the more Hispanic heavy precincts instead, which, you know, splitting up a couple precincts is not going to be too big of a deal. So if we can have it take some of these precincts from the first district over here, it should be all right, just to get it below 50% white, which will make it more legal, because we're not really splitting up the Latino communities here. We're just taking a couple precincts, you know, in terms of keeping the population deviation all right. So actually, you can probably take a couple of these precincts back and then have it take the white heavy precincts in the Albuquerque area. Third district is almost below 50% white. We just need to get a couple more of these precincts and then it should be good. So if we take a couple more of these precincts, maybe one or two more, this should be good. So it's 50.1% white. Maybe if we have it take these two precincts, now it's 50% white, and have it take this precinct and this precinct. Maybe if we have it take one more, then it should be good. Still 50% white, but if you look at the statistics, it's just over 50%. So if we want to get it below 50%, I suppose we could take in one more precinct there and have this precinct go into the district. So now it is below 50% white. It's 49% white, which should be legal. And so we've got the district, which is now D plus 9 or 10.2 percentage points, the second, which is D plus 3, and the third, which is D plus 20.9 percentage points. The first district being plurality Hispanic, the second district being plurality Hispanic, and the third district being plurality white, but also majority, not a majority, so it's a plurality. So overall, I think that this map would hold up in the courts, and I think that this map would get rid of Yvette Herrell. Maybe in 2022 she wins with this map, but overall, I think that this map would be pretty strong for Democrats, and I do think that this is what they're going to end up doing. If we look at the education demographics, it kind of splits up a lot of areas, but New Mexico is generally not that educated of a state. So it's in terms of bachelor's degree, I'm not talking about education in general. I'm just talking about college education. But overall, it doesn't really split it up too poorly. But it's got the native areas that it keeps together. Actually, there's not many black areas of New Mexico, but it keeps the native areas together in the second district. It keeps the Hispanic areas together mainly in the first district, but as well as in the third district. And so overall, I think that it's a pretty solid map. So thank you all for watching this video. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also follow me on Twitter and join the Discord. Those are both linked down in the description. Suggest what state I should do next, because you guys seem to enjoy these videos. I enjoy making them, so suggest what state you want me to do next. But again, guys, thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you guys later.